You are now listening to Oversaturated, the podcast, hosted by Johnnie and Ralph. Now let's get it.
Welcome to another episode of Oversaturated, the podcast where we discuss music, movies, pop culture, and everything in between. I'm Johnnie.
And I'm Ralph.
Welcome to episode number 195.
195, man. I'm Remy Ralph this week.
Remy Ralph. I like that. New listeners, please follow us on all social media. Facebook, just search Oversaturated, the podcast. Twitter is Oversat Podcast. Instagram is Oversat the Podcast. And our email is oversatpodcast@gmail.com. And please be sure to check out our website, oversatthepod.com. Anything you need to know about OS is there.
Yes, sir. If you want to follow us individually, I am the Mind of Ralph on Instagram and Twitter.
On Twitter, I'm JON2_B. On Instagram, I'm JBS_ESL_AAMU. Make sure you holler at us. And special shout out to WDJYFM out there in Atlanta, 99.1. Yeah. Shout out to OS Gang in Atlanta, man. We here.
Johnnie, my
Yes,
brother.
sir. Yes.
How you doing, man?
I'm exhausted. I'm just gonna put it out there. It's been a weekend full of activity. Shout out to the East St. Louis Community Tennis Association. We had a great weekend of tennis. There's a lot of things going on all around. Had a great coaches workshop. We had somebody from the USTA come and basically give a clinic to our coaches to show us how to better coach beginners of the game in tennis. So that was great. It was super hot all weekend, so just being outside in the heat all day was a time. We'll just say that. Yeah. And then today we had a party. We had our summer party where all the kids and adults that usually come out still give lessons and open play, but we had a DJ, we had barbecue, snow cones for the kids. We had shout out to Sterling Bank. We had a representative from Sterling Bank come out and give a financial literacy presentation to the kids. So that was cool. And yeah, man, just kicking it, playing tennis. So it was a good weekend, but your boy is tired. I've been going for 2 days straight. It's crazy.
I'm good. That's good to see, man, that the organization that you help, you sponsor, you're part of, you know what I'm saying, just doing good things in the community, bro. That's salute.
Appreciate that, man. It's a lot of work that goes into it, but none of us can do it alone individually. Like our entire board is always working to put stuff together and make sure things run smooth. So yeah, man, it's good to see when it's done, because in the moment you can't really enjoy it, because you running here doing everything, but looking back, it was a really, really great weekend. So shout out to everybody that participated, man. That was great.
Okay. Yeah, man.
You
know me. Oh no, I'm great, man. I'm actually okay. Like, I guess today is just my day of rest, Sabbath for those that pay attention to those types of things. But I didn't do much. Just a few little errands here and there, but I'm back here. I'm ready to record. As you can see and as you can hear, I'm not in the OS studio with my brother today. Thunderstorms in the St. Louis metropolitan area. Hey, man, we don't play them games, bro. When it rains, it don't rain. It'd be like, what the fuck is that outside? Like,
listen, it's been nothing but monsoon since Thursday. Yeah. Like, it's crazy. It's been crazy out here.
I was getting ready to leave. I looked at the weather, and I don't never really check the weather out, but something just said, hey, check the weather. And then checked the weather, then I looked at the sky, like, hey, yo, it's kind of dark out there. Hey, yo, I don't know if it's a Shatari invasion or it's a thunderstorm.
Look at
Johnnie got it, but that's all I did. I didn't know what was going on, so I was just like, you know what, brother, set up the Zoom for me, man.
Play it safe, definitely play it safe. So yeah. No, it's been going crazy though. The weather been going crazy the last few days. So.
Exactly, man. But no, I real quick, I went to the movies yesterday. Saw Mission Impossible. Is it Dead Reckoning? Dead Reckoning Part 1.
Okay.
solid film, pretty, American, spy film, the stakes are just the stakes. It's kind of like, this is good.
You seen
Like
one
the action.
right.
Hmm?
Right. Yeah, I said you seen
It's
one
always,
world ending event, you seen them all.
that's how I look at it. And then listen, man, bro, Tom Cruise has been playing the same character since 1996. He is 61.
That's crazy.
I give Mahershala hell for trying to play Blade at 50.
Facts.
What?
But
I guess the difference is he been playing this since 96.
y'all listen, that's what I was about to say. Granted, this would be Mahershala's first outing as Blade.
Right,
so I don't know.
That's what I'm like, I don't know. It's not the same. It's not the same line of work, but
That's crazy. And Tom Cruise still does like a lot of his own stunts for those films too, which is even crazier.
He be running. He got some high knees. I'm like, oh.
Listen, I don't know what they're doing
I
over
want to do that right now. I want to do what he do right now.
Nah, you got to get into Scientology to do that. Don't do that.
Oh man, but I mean, all in all, the movie is pretty solid. I mean, you got the same cast of characters. I don't really feel like the stakes were like high for some. And this kind of ties into what we talked about with Across the Spider-Verse, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Across the Spider-Verse. When you leave with this whole part one shit, like the cliffhanger got to be it. And the cliffhanger wasn't the cliffhanger because it wasn't like Ethan Hunt was in this like big. I'm not gonna spoil it because I think Johnnie wants to see it, but I'm not gonna spoil it. And then for the listeners, but it's just like Ethan Hunt kind of rode off into the sunset, and he still kind of has the item that he needs to kind of get to where he needs to go. So kind of like, well, what we gonna do in part two?
That's funny.
Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not like the ops got it. Like he got it.
He got it.
We just got to get there. But he got it though. You know what I'm saying? So
that don't really make sense.
It don't make sense. And then it's like, okay, whatever.
That's damn. That's crazy.
Part two, and then later in the show we'll get to the actor strike. But it's like this ain't coming next year. So when part two comes.
Speaking of movies coming soon, right? So the whole concept of time has been like crazy this year, right? Mm-hmm. So it's almost the end of July. I didn't realize, so I knew that the new Ninja Turtles movie comes out August 2nd, I believe. But Blue Beetle comes out.
Or the 4th?
I think it's August 2nd.
Okay, no, the 2nd is Wednesday. That's why I asked.
Oh damn. So maybe it's that week. I know for sure.
Not that big a deal.
Right. But Blue Beetle also comes out like mid-August, which is like in a month. Now, even before the writer strike, or the actor strike, I hadn't seen much promo for it. For a DC movie to be coming so close before the actor strike, it's crazy.
Okay, like you said before that. Yeah. I get what you're saying with that. Okay. Well, we'll get to the details of that. But real quick, and I promise you, we'll get later into the show, people. I promise. But Joaquin Phoenix is playing Napoleon in the Napoleon film.
Oh,
the trailer looks amazing. And
really?
Ridley Scott is directing that. I was like, hey, yo.
So I think I saw that on the timeline, but I just skipped it because I don't really care about that. But damn, it's like that.
Yeah, don't fake care now, but it's good. It's like if you ain't watch Gladiator and none of the other stuff, you ain't gonna like this. Matter. So
but see,
no, it don't matter to
you. you love history though, so I understand why you even entertained it.
I mean,
and the acting.
I had to watch the preview at the movies. Like that's the only reason I saw it.
I'm thinking the fucking timeline. I'm tripping.
No, this ain't timeline. This was in the movie theater. I'm like, oh,
yeah, you have a choice.
I didn't have a choice. So
as I've gotten older, I care less and less about seeing trailers now. Like in the theaters. Only because that shit'll be on the timeline the next day, if not before.
Well, it depends. Well, no, it depends on the genre of movie that you want to see. That's the thing.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah, like I'm excited about a Napoleon film. You're not, but you saw. If I saw it on time, I'm like, oh, this is interesting. But like you said, it has to be something that interests you.
True. No, that's fair.
To stop you in your tracks. Then a trailer in the movie theater always tastes different. Come on, bro.
Also true. Did you see it in IMAX? Did you see Mission Impossible IMAX?
No, I didn't see it in IMAX, but I mean that I'm seeing in IMAX. Like
Yeah.
when I go, Oppenheimer is gonna be in IMAX for
Facts.
sure.
Facts. Is that out? Or that come out next week? No, that and Barbie come out the same day.
Yeah, comes out on 21st.
Yeah. So, yeah, shout out. I ain't been back to the movie since The Flash. Yeah, that was a pre-screening. That's crazy. It's so much shit out, man. I don't know. I can't put my finger on it.
Big facts.
But yeah, I'm definitely going to see Blue Beetle. But anyway, that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, man. But what we doing, man? Off the dome?
Off the dome. You got it.
I got one for you.
Okay.
I got you. Fashion question, lifestyle question. Bro, so many brands that we know go through rebrands and rebirths and all that great stuff. Have you seen a brand that kind of died out maybe when you was a kid, teenager, whatever, and that's kind of made a resurgence that you'll spend the block on?
I tried to fight it for the longest, but honestly, champion. But
yeah.
I remember seeing Champion in like TJ Maxx, like them types of stores, like in the clearance bin, like for hellas. You would get flamed for wearing Champion. But somehow I don't understand. Like I would really love to study how they made their resurgence and was able to up their prices on the Champion brand, because Champion has been out here at least the last three or 4 years going strong. And for the longest, I was like, man, that's trash. We used to talk about people that wore Champion. Now y'all out here wearing it like it's fucking Gucci. But I don't know. Maybe the marketing has gotten to me too, because some of the shit starting to look good. I ain't gonna lie.
That definitely happens. And marketing, you like,
yeah, like I know what I could put this with. Now I got some J's that match that. Like that's crazy. So yeah definitely, man. Champion.
The brand for me, and it's been kind of a recent thing. I haven't bought any, but I'm strongly considering it.
Mm-hmm.
You remember Saucony, the sneakers?
I do.
Yeah, Saucony's wasn't necessarily like a cool thing to wear. Like that was kind of like, you know, they were cheap. Like you just put them on. They were uniform shoes. Mm-hmm. Shout out to people that wear uniform school. You get your black pair real quick. Throw them joints on. They was like $50. Like mama wouldn't buy me Air Max and Jordans. That was not happening.
True. No, that's facts.
Ponies. These are $50 at Shoe Corner.
Man, what? Bro, listen, Shoe Corner was the lick back in the day.
But bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the rebranding is crazy out here. Like the colorways they got now, it's like the type of materials that they're using. I was like, oh, they're making like a jump, and I was like, I might buy a pair, like because it doesn't really matter about the brand itself, and that's one thing you kind of have to separate when you start to develop your own fashion sense. Because if you put it on, you put it on, right?
Right.
I think I think my inner child just like, hey, bro, you had these because you didn't have it, but you got, I ain't saying I got it, but I'm better off. I don't have to put it on now. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and then like like quiet as it kept, you do a lot to please your inner child. Whatever you buy is to please your inner child. So
man, you see my
I can't buy the stuff that I felt like that shamed me when I was my childhood. I can't buy the Sauconys now. Like I'm doing better now, but I don't have to buy. All right, hold on. Am I having therapy session? Are we on podcast right now?
Hey, let it out, bro. Let it out.
All right.
This is a safe space. This is a safe space for all.
But all in all, it's like you can have the the brands that people think that are cool, but if you're a goof, you're a goof. It don't really matter what you got on. If the people think you're goofy, you're a goofy.
And see, we had to grow up to learn that, though.
I know. Man.
That's all.
I know. That's all. But still, I don't have to. I'm this close, bro. I'm gonna send you a picture. Like I'm gonna send you. I was like,
another brand like that, and I don't really remember New Balance like as a kid. I really don't, but I do remember it as I got older, maybe like teenage, young adult years. But New Balance ain't used to be like that either. And people used to really talk about you wearing New Balance now. But now, hey, New Balance got some heat. They got some heat.
Hey, now I have 4 pairs.
Look, I seen them orange joints you got. Them joints hard. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I got a couple more pairs. I just post them. I don't want nobody to know I got them. I usually want to keep something. Like,
Oh yeah,
y'all
yeah,
saw,
keep it.
but y'all don't need to know about the
Yeah.
rest.
No, but definitely New Balance is definitely another one too. Cause they were, I don't know who they got on their team now, but they definitely, their colorways, the style, even though they do got one style of shoe that look like therapeutic joints, and people be going crazy over them. I don't like them. They got the little small end on them. Like, you can't convince me those look good.
No. You know style when you see it.
That's crazy. That's crazy. But anyway, fire question, bro. All right, so from off the dome, it's a movie question. The year is 1994.
Okay.
I got 5 movies for you that came out that year. I want you to pick the one movie that you would keep out of the 5 that is your favorite, that you enjoy the most.
Okay.
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
We got Fresh.
Mm-hmm.
We got Crooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
Jason's Lyric.
Mm-hmm.
Above the Rim. And A Low Down Dirty Shame. Which movie you keeping?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. That's my favorite.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna go with the one that gives me a blend of action, comedy, and drama. So I'll go with A Low Down Dirty Shame. Low Down Dirty Shame's laughs really, really has me there. I think the acting of not Keenan Ivory. I think Keenan Ivory was serviceable, but you have Jada Pinkett and you have Charles S. Dutton in there. You got the villain Mendoza. Like I fuck a lot of films on this list, but I'm gonna go with Low Down Dirty Shame. Like that's just the one that's kind of like I hate to go against Above the Rim, but that Low Down Dirty Shame, like the laughs are there for me. Like the laughs.
Big facts. Listen, man, that's why you my guy. That's why you my guy.
Yeah.
Because that's my answer too, man. That the movie Low Down Dirty Shame is just, I feel like it's too good of a movie. Like it blends a lot of everything that I enjoy in film, right? And Lowest the Keys, the plot is kind of fire. Like the plot is kind of fire too. So if you have, I don't really want to call it low budget film, but like mid tier budget film, right? That you're able to put together and get laughs, get action, get a good storyline, get a good villain. Like it's great. It's great. I can't go against it. I got that on VHS and DVD. Like it's crazy.
Hey, Low Down Dirty Shame is my shit. Like you can't tell.
Fire movie, man.
But now, people, that was off the dome, man. What brand was trash when you was a child, at least that you can remember, and then you don't mind spending the block on as an adult?
Yeah, man. And then what was your favorite movie from 1994? Y'all heard it. I ain't gonna go read them off again.
Yeah. Y'all remember the question. But hey, man, OS family, OS gang, what's happening, family and kid folk. We got a few things here on the docket this week. We're gonna start serious and then tumble into the fun and good stuff. Trust me, we got y'all. Right. But first things first, we gotta talk about the young lady in Birmingham, Carlee Russell, who is 25. I don't want to speak in past tense, who was abducted along the highway in Birmingham. Johnnie, what do we have for this?
Man, that was an insane story to even like see and hear about. She was driving on a highway. I forget which highway, but she saw an infant like walking on the highway, right? So as a pure-hearted person, she stopped to check to see, what's going on. And I've seen a few TikToks actually breaking down like the footage, because there was like a highway traffic cam or something. And just like rewatching it over and over, you can somewhat see her, getting out, checking on the kid, and then like a shadowy figure coming from the side where the woods were on the side of the highway. And it's like she hadn't, she at the point in time, she hadn't been seen since. Since then, she has been found as of today, as of this recording. So that's great to hear. But man, like, just I can't imagine like wanting to like check on something or someone that seems to be in distress somehow, especially like a child, like a young child, and then somebody like grabbing you and like taking you, right? That's crazy because you're not thinking about that in a moment. You're checking on the well-being of a child, so nothing else is really in your brain. But it's crazy that you have to continue to be aware and be diligent even when you're putting all of your efforts into making sure someone else is okay. Like, you still have to think that way. It's insane, man.
Yeah, man. It's a cruel world, man. But I'm happy that she's been found. She's getting the best care that we know of at UAB Hospital. Um, I don't know, man. I'm just like you said, like this woman who I think she is a medical student or a doctor. Excuse me, I don't want to, you know, give false information, but just the fact that she was able to identify somebody being in distress who was a toddler. You see a toddler, straggling across the highway. Of course, my
Man,
God, like
what? For real?
somebody's gonna do something. So, she stopped and then she tried to, remedy the situation or see what was going on, and then, you got human traffickers out here, man, kidnappers, whatever the case may be.
Word.
And it's just a wild situation because this is kind of the world that we don't know anything about, but human trafficking is a very, very real thing. And scenarios like this happen all the time, which is quite unfortunate to anybody, you know what I'm saying? But it's a problem that's just a world problem. They kidnap young people or young women, preferably, for reasons we don't know. That's not a world that I know anything about. That's not a world that I can comment on. I don't know what they do with them, but we've heard stories, we've seen it depicted in movies, documentaries, and shows. So I'm just happy that she was found. I'm glad that the power of, I guess, prayer does work. Social media and the police force, all that work together for her to be found. So that's I feel great with that.
Right, and I hope, in her days of recovery and even like post recovery, I hope people aren't like demanding to know what happened. Oh my God, where were you, and all that kind of stuff. Because I'm going to assume her being taken like that was a hugely traumatic experience, right? So she's going to need time to heal and get over that. So, as she recovers, as she returns to her normal routine, whenever that is, because I'm sure she's going to need time. Like, I just hope people aren't like hounding her to know the details of what happened, because even if she wants to talk about it, she'll do that on her own time,
Oh yeah, of course. If you do, Gail can't pay her. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's
oh
like
man, what big facts?
Throw some money, and I hope that she gets the best medical care that she can possibly have. I know that I don't think she's a mother, but if she bears children at any point, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's
For real.
It's a lot of trauma that's going to happen. I mean, it's a lot of trauma that she's going to go through and have to unwind, and I hope that she gets the healing that she deserves.
Absolutely.
Well, let's try this on size pro, because that was a little heavy. But let's try this. President Biden has announced a $39 billion student loan forgiveness plan. Short weeks after the Supreme Court just kind of struck it down in the Supreme Court ruling. But Johnny, what do you have for this?
First of all, I want to say shout out to everybody whose student loans are going to be forgiven from this particular I guess law or whatever that has been passed. So I do want to shout them out because y'all deserve it, right? But I want people to understand the details of what this actually means. So these particular loans, the 800,000 borrowers, the 39 billion, right? That's only people who have been on a income driven repayment plan and have paid their student loans for over 20 years. So I haven't been paying my student loans for 20 years because I only been out of college for I can't do the quick maths, but I think 13 years, right? So I wouldn't qualify for that. A lot of people in my age range would not qualify for that. So I want people to know you won't just pop up your Navient and Aid Vantage, because that's like the new shit now, and see your student loans are clear, because we haven't been paying for over 20 years. So the people who have been on the income driven repayment plan and have been paying for 20 plus years, they are getting their student loans forgiven. Shout out to y'all.
Yeah.
Which is also crazy that the 39 billion that's getting forgiven still doesn't put a dent in the over $1 trillion of student loan debt that's past and present students in the country have. Like, that's still crazy to me. So yeah, that's all I really got, honestly, because I'm happy for the people who are getting their shit forgiven, but what about me?
Listen, I ain't got nothing. I was like, oh, this sounds weird. Like I saw listen to my voice. So I was like, all right, that's what's up.
Right.
Like even when I saw 39 billion, I was like, listen, y'all just heard me talk about how I got finessed for $500 in the park last week. That wasn't even money that was I thought I came up. So you think I'm gonna get student loans again? And I can find $500? No, I ain't worried about this shit.
That's hilarious. That's
No,
hilarious.
seriously, like God doesn't love me like that. He loves me, but he don't love me like that. Like, I ain't getting off like that. Nah, we ain't playing them games. Like, what you talking? What you mean? What you saying? So I'm like 39 billion. I know I ain't included that number. That sounds great. And then when I read the fine print, as Johnny just so eloquently broke down for y'all, if y'all didn't know, I was like 20 years.
Yeah, but because if you like, and I remember my exit interview graduating from college, right? They said, hey, these are the different types of repayment plans. You could be on the income driven, and if you pay for 20 plus years, they will be automatically forgiven. But the issue was a lot of the people who had been paying, their payments, I guess, didn't cross reference or something, so they didn't count toward it. It's a whole bunch of craziness. But so essentially Biden didn't even do nothing because these people were supposed to get their student loans forgiven anyway. He just made sure it happened. Now that I'm really thinking about it.
Right. I
didn't even know shit.
Listen, we were so happy on social media, like, yeah.
No.
Get him back in there for another 4. Yeah. Like, I was
absolutely not. Listen, I think it's over for Biden. Listen, you ain't
it's over for a lot of them.
Man, what you ain't do enough these 4 years, my boy. You ain't do enough. So it's
savage, man.
Crazy.
Let's try this on, man. Since that was such a big joke, let's try this out. Comic View is coming back on BET. We were in the talks when we had this conversation when Tyler Perry bought the network. We're like, we're gonna bring Comic View back. You'll bring some of those shows that had this nostalgia feel back, but we're gonna have Kevin Hart producing the show this time around. So, Johnny, what do you have for Comic View making a comeback on BET?
I think it's great. I think it's phenomenal. I love Comic View growing up. A lot of comedians that we saw on Comic View when we were kids have mostly gone on to do great things now. The one I remember most is Lil Duval, and you know he been out here doing his thing, especially like in comedy and in music. So shout out to him. I think it's great, and we get to see we'll probably get the veterans to come back for sure, but to see like a new crop of comedians come out and and do their thing, I think is amazing. Now, what I did find funny though is that the article that you shared, so for whatever reason they highlighted T.I. I don't understand why they highlighted T.I. Like it's like I know he doing his comedy thing, cool, but we have to put T.I. on the forefront of that shit.
We're not here to see T.I. tell jokes, and we applaud him for trying and doing something different, but we ain't here for him.
No.
But this is the thing, right? I'm excited for this platform to be back because it put a lot of comics in front of our face that we probably wouldn't, that didn't get like that mainstream love, like a Bruce or a Tyler Craig or even Lil Duval, whose name was Roland Powell back then. Right. Who else? Like it's like Shawty. Like it was a lot of people on that platform that really did numbers. Like I remember what's our girl that did Ghostbusters and Saturday Night Live and all that stuff?
Leslie Jones.
She was on there back in the day. Like so it showcased a lot of our black talent back then. So I think if anything can come from a positive of BET bringing that back is that we get to see a new crop of stars. We can even get to see some of the old heads come back because Earthquake's still out here doing his thing. He's doing Netflix stuff now, but you never know. He might come back and do a little 10-minute, 15-minute set that they'll at least air for Comic View. Like now, granted, it might be different in the club space or wherever they at. But I will say this: do you think with I don't know if you subscribe to like Chocolate Sundays on YouTube and stuff like that?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay. With like platforms like that, do you think BET Comic View still has like a great place? Because nothing is better than the self-promotion and YouTube and all that other stuff. People put their own comic specials out. I follow comedians on TikTok, and I ain't talking about like TikTok comedians. I'm talking about people that actually put their own sets on like like a Matt Rife. I know he's white, or Nate Jackson, he's black. But it's like you have people that put their sets out on TikTok and other social media. So do you think that the power of Comic View will still be there?
Maybe not as strong as it was back in the day, because Comic View was like one of the only outlets that people really had in order to get their national attention. So maybe not that strong in that sense, but it's just more. I would imagine that for the current comedian, like the comedians that's been doing a thing, it's just more promotion for them. Like, and it's a different type of venue, different type of feel. So can you rock your stages when you got on your tour dates versus can you rock a TV comedy special? Because you can be funny in the room, but you could bomb like in my living room. Like you just never really know. You never really know.
And TV is still TV. So I guess maybe that does kind of negate what I was trying to say. You know what I'm saying? Like TV is still TV. So I think there are still certain eyes of people that watch TV. Like say, people our parents' age, they might watch BT.
Oh, for sure.
But they ain't on social media.
They ain't on like YouTube and none of that.
Yeah. So you still getting people that only watch TV. So I guess it's
But this is also the thing though. You mentioned the generation of people who still watch BT, still watch the actual like cable TV, right?
Yeah.
I want to make sure. I hope that Comic View doesn't miss the opportunity to get the other viewers as well, the younger viewers, because again, I don't have cable. I missed the BET Awards because I don't have cable, right? Mm-hmm. So the people who have cut the cord and are on YouTube, they are on social media. I hope that the Comic View team, the BET team, somehow make that transition as well. Like, you're gonna have Comic View on TV, cool, but at least put some clips out on social media, on YouTube, to make sure that the other eyes see it as well. Mm-hmm. Because it's a different day and age from when Comic View went off air back in, I think it was like 2008 or something like that. It's a whole different world now. So I just hope they don't miss the opportunity to have those other eyes on the comedians that'll be on there.
Yeah. But nah, man, I like that, man. Speaking of changing of the guard and just keeping up with the times, man, the New York Times, famed publication, worldwide publication, the number one, I'll say the number one newspaper in at least the United States.
Yeah.
Have cut their whole sports department since they recently purchased the Athletic. Johnnie, let's get into this, man. What do you think about the New York Times, a famed publication, getting rid of its whole sports journalism department?
It's interesting, right? Because in reading it initially, at least reading the headline, it's like, oh damn, that's crazy. Like, these people, they have families, people support themselves, all that kind of stuff. But in continuing to read the article, the individuals who worked for the New York Times, the sports department, they are going to other departments within the publication, right? So cool, that's great. I love to hear it. Then I thought more. You bought the Atlantic, which is like, sorry, my fault. You bought the Athletic, right? Which is a sports publication itself, right? Does it really make sense to have both? Does it make sense to have both? Now, I guess the smart thing would have been to have your sports department go over to the Athletic, and then y'all, collaborate, do y'all thing. But if we own an entire sports publication that we purchased so many years ago, why not just use that for our sports? And now we can move other resources to other departments within our organization. I think it kind of makes sense. I think it makes sense.
I'm not gonna say it doesn't make sense because I don't know what their bottom line look like. I don't read the newspaper, so I don't really give a fuck. But there are people that go to school for sports journalism. There are people that actually grow up in the city of New York and know the ins and outs, the nooks and crannies, and all that, and probably aspire to be sports journalists. Like, imagine being a beat writer for the Knicks. Probably takes a level of pride to do. Like, I'm not even being funny. Like,
for sure.
Seriously. So when you have somebody that that aspires to work, like, I guess, like, it's like the Peter Parker shit, like, what I'm saying, like, I want to work for this newspaper. Like, I don't, like, I'm trying to make sense of Like, but then again, the bottom line is all that matters because print media, like we like we just talked about TV, right? People don't really watch TV. Do people? When was the last time, Johnny, you seen somebody sitting there doing this with the newspaper?
Oh no, it's been hellish. It's been
I
hellish.
exactly right. So, and now we're getting to the point where sports media is not necessarily the pen anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You live more than out of the newspaper. Like you got people like us, talking heads, people that just talk about sports rather than actually writing about them.
Right.
I can't tell you the last time I actually read a news article about sports.
Yeah. No, you're right. No, you're absolutely correct.
So it's kind of like, and then watching like shows like I'm in the Succession right now, and that's based around a media family, and they're talking about how things are so antiquated, and they're trying to absorb little companies to stay afloat when they don't really do things the new way of doing things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And how many newspapers have you seen suffer because of lack of this or lack of that? And then it's not just professional sports. What about the local sports? Like high school?
So
you have to have writers for that too, right?
So again, I don't read the
news. I'm not asking you to answer that, but that's the
So I guess my question would be, the Atlantic can't just take over all of that? Because I think the easiest or the smartest solution would have been, okay, New York Times wants to get rid of their sports department, sports journalism department, right? Cool. So all of the, I think it was 35 employees that they had for sports. Just move those to the Atlantic.
And that sounds crazy.
Or right, right. So it's 35 of them. Just move them over to the Atlantic. They can. Damn, why I keep saying Atlantic? I don't know. That's crazy.
I mean, because maybe the Atlantic Ocean is right there. I don't know.
That's funny. That's funny. The Athletic. Have those 35 employees go over to the Athletic, and they can collaborate, swap stories, like swap, just swap resources, and then they can build something bigger and better.
Well, I'm comparing the New York Times to, let's say, the St. Louis Post-Dispatch, and those are not the same type of newspaper. So maybe that's where I'm getting at with the whole like local high school like type of coverage, because that's still a real thing. Like you still want to pay attention to your prep sports, your college sports, and the Athletic. To my knowledge, now I didn't read too much into the Athletic. I only looked at this. The Athletic has always been somebody that kind of ESPN kind of got like some of their headlines from too.
Okay.
So I always looked at as the Athletic. It's kind of like this national type of brand.
But isn't the New York Times the same thing? It's a national brand. I mean, it's New York.
I mean, clearly. It's a national brand, but it's still a New York newspaper. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's niggas in Tokyo read the New York Times, so they won't look at the stock market. I don't know, but it's like but I mean, to think about it, it's like it still kind of taints the local feel of it, because every newspaper, every city takes pride in their news, rather be good, bad, or indifferent, I guess you would say. But the sports is really like the heartbeat of certain cities. And New York sports, they have everything there.
And who's to say?
And it's like you're outsourcing it. That's what look like. Yo, we're just pushing that over there.
It does sound like outsourcing, but they bought them. But also,
I mean, no. You are right. I'm not debating that part. It's just weird. You know what I'm saying?
And who's to say they can't divert some of the resources over at the Athletic and do what those 35 employees did before they moved on to other ventures?
Yeah,
because the Athletic is a whole publication, right? So you got I won't say infinite resources, but you got a lot of resources, right? So just pluck some of them. Hey, just do what they used to do. Now we good.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. I mean, I don't subscribe to the New York Times. I wasn't in their sports sessions, so I don't really know to care about that. But it's just, I do know that it's certain levels of things that, and the Athletics just kind of became this thing in the past, let's say 5 to 7 years.
Yeah.
Not to say it started 5 to 7 years, but it became a thing.
Right.
As a reason. So I ain't mad at it. It's just, what does it do? What does it do for if the New York Times is starting to think like that? My fear or my bold prediction is that it starts to trickle down.
And I mean, that's usually yes, you're
like
right.
If the New York Times is doing this, it's only so long Fake Thugs can pretend down here, because like
LA Times next.
Talk about like local newspapers, they're not even owned. They're like I'll use this example, right? The Belleville News Democrat, to those that are in the St. Louis metropolitan area, right? It's not, their headquarters is in Virginia.
See, I didn't know
like
that.
They're owned by somebody in Virginia. Like if you wanted to subscribe to them, your payment goes to Virginia. Why does it go to Virginia when Belleville's right there?
That's crazy. I had no idea.
So no, newspapers aren't even owned by themselves. They're not even self-contained entities. So that's where it gets nasty, bro.
The last self-contained newspaper was the East St. Louis Monitor.
Nobody want to own it. That's crazy.
I remember on Sundays going to get them either out the grocery store or on, I think it was like Tuesdays, used to be somebody in the street selling them. Yeah, I remember that 50 cents.
They ain't 50 cent no more. That's crazy.
I bet not. I bet
everything went up, but it's a 50 cent pay, but respectfully. Respectfully.
That's funny, man. I guess shout out to the Athletic, man. I don't know. Shout out to the Athletic. And the Atlantic. Shout out to them too.
Right. Johnnie kept saying the Atlantic. Let's try this out too, man. Your boy B. Terrorist, man. Rap Radar.
Shout out to Radar.
Shout out to Rare Radar. This is no slight at y'all. But Rap Radar, they are back again being terrorists. B. has come out with the top 10 rappers of 2023 so far. They just do this. They type out these lists and they just get the people in a frenzy.
They put these tweets out and then they just leave. That's it.
They just leave. Like they just say stuff and they just leave. And we just got to deal with it because they are the perceived authority.
Facts.
We just got to deal with it. But Johnnie, okay. Do you want to go through?
Yes, we're going down this list. It's so all right. Number 2, we're going 10 to 1. Number 10, Cardi B. Number 9, Jack Harlow. Number 8, Killer Mike. Number 7, Benny the Butcher. Number 6, Larry June. Number 5, 21 Savage. Number 4, Currency. Number 3, Tyler the Creator. Number 2, Lotto. Number 1, J. Cole. That is B.Dot's rappers of top 10 rappers of 2023 so far, according to B.Dot. Where do we begin? Okay, let's start here. Who doesn't deserve to be on this list? This is 2023 as of, how long did this tweet come out? July 10th. So from January 1st to July 10th, these are the 10 rappers B.Dot said are the top for the year.
This is the thing, man. If I say one name, it's gonna be like somebody, well, you didn't listen to their verse on such and such. Oh, okay.
It don't matter. We're not listening to those people.
Okay, well, it's 2 people that jump out, and it's gonna be Cardi and it's gonna be Benny. Those are the 2 that I feel like why are they here right now?
Okay.
But everybody else, I think, is pretty serviceable. I see why they're there. I'm not gonna argue now. Pole position, pause if applicable. I can see why you would want to shuffle these names around, but no, like Cardi and Benny, no, not right now.
I was about to ask, why is Jack Harlow here? But did he put out a project this year?
Yeah, he did.
Didn't I talk about it?
Yeah, you did.
Damn. That's so.
And he has probably one of the best songs of that DJ Drama album, The Mockingbird Valley. Right. So like Larry June is always outside. 21 Savage, obviously he has features and stuff like that. And then obviously still riding the curtails of the Drake project.
Of course.
Currency always outside. Tyler, he did the
deluxe this year.
The deluxe joint. So that's cool if you got him on there, but 3, that's kind of high. When you got people that are out here with more like active projects. I'm just saying. Lotto, I get it. Cole,
I get Lotto.
Cole, I didn't know. Like I didn't know he should
listen.
I mean, one though.
I'm never mad at J. Cole being on the top rappers list, right? But for this year, for this year, and maybe I missed it. Like what has he been on? Like am I tripping? For this year, I don't know. I don't know what he been on.
I don't know.
See that?
Then Killer Mike. has arguably one of the best projects this year. Gunna probably should be on the list because he has had an album that's probably been in people's album talk too.
Right.
So I mean, we're going off of that metric. I ain't saying he's supposed to be one, but Gunna should be on the list.
Gunna should definitely be on the list.
He should be on the list. That's all I'm saying. So
okay, so look, so we take you say you take Cardi and Benny the Butcher off, right? So you replace one with Gunna. Replace one with Gunna. Who's the other person that you will put on there?
Cardi. I can't think of nobody else. Hold on. Who else has had a pretty good year?
I got to troll, but I don't know if this song came out this year or last year. It might have came out last year. But would you put Sexy Red on
it? She's not a top 10 rapper or anything. like if you're talking about hottest rappers, okay, that's a different conversation.
Right.
Top 10 rappers and of whatever metric that B Dot and Elliott Wilson come up with.
Yeah.
And plus, Sexy Red's rise has been like the past 2 months, maybe 3. 2 for sure.
Yeah. I don't know. It's
not enough to just catapult into a top 10 list just because she got 2 songs. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or a song and a feature, you know what I'm saying, respectfully.
Yeah. Troll shit. But I don't know, but to me it shows how hip hop has been lacking in 2023 because I don't even know what J. Cole been on this year. So
what about this? Well, Uzi could be on the list, couldn't he?
He could, but I think this list came out before Uzi album dropped.
Okay, like because Uzi was still active though, right? Because just the I Want to Rock stuff, and then features have been popping up here and there. He hasn't been like a lack of not working, and then the album coming out and it get #1. Yeah, like you said, it did come out before this, so yeah, that may be why. But I put Uzi on here before Cardi.
And how many guest verses Cardi had this year?
Even Benny, one or two. I think maybe I'm just overlooking Benny because I think Benny has had a relatively quiet year.
Mm-hmm. I think so too, but again, this could be me just missing the point here. Like maybe I missed where Benny's been outside. I know it hasn't been a project because I would have known about a project, but I haven't heard
no project. The last thing he put out was 10 of Talk 4, and that was last year. And that had Johnny P's Caddy with Cole.
Right.
So
which was all last year. Yeah.
That's last year. So what are we talking about?
I don't know. I don't know.
Like I get Larry June 21 Savage Currency. They always working. Larry June always got an album.
That's crazy. It's crazy when the best hip hop albums outside of Killer Mike are fucking movie soundtracks. That's crazy.
What's the movie soundtrack?
Creed 3, and then what was another one? What was the other one? Damn, I guess it ain't because I don't remember. But it's another movie soundtrack that was fired too. I know it was Creed 3, but it's
Across the Spider-Verse.
Yes. Wait, was it? Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. Did you listen to that?
Yeah, I listened to it. I thought it was cool.
You didn't think it was that fire?
It's cool.
Compared to other hip hop projects that have come out this year.
It's cool.
Okay. All right. But yeah, I don't know. I think I'm missing the mark on why certain artists are on this list, but I don't know. They tapped into the culture more than I am, clearly, because they got some inside intel or something. Maybe this is the B Dot from the future, and he already heard the J. Cole project.
Right. J. Cole album get ready to come out or something. That's probably what it is. He's like, y'all just don't know. This is my last, this the end of the year list. I'm like,
right, looking at that's funny.
Because usually at the end of the year, he'll pull out 2 rappers out of his ass like you ain't never heard of, but the internet love. Like I was like, I remember I got cooked one time on Twitter because I didn't know who Stovetop Cooks was. I was like, oh, what the fuck is this? Who is this? Why is he here?
I know Stovetop Stuffing. I don't know Stovetop Cooks.
Nope. Okay. No, that wasn't it, Johnny.
That would have worked in November.
Hey yo, okay,
I told
man.
you I
Let's
was
try
tired.
it now.
But anyway,
Let's try this now, man. The actors, the skill that was it SGA Screen Guild Association or something like that.
hold on. I think that's right.
Something like that. But
Screen
hey, man,
Guild Association. That sound right.
yeah, something like that. Well, hey, man, we talked about the writers going on strike, the WGA a few weeks ago. Now the actors are actually have
Oh,
strike.
Screen Actors Guild. Screen Actors
Oh,
Guild.
so
My bad.
it's SAG. My bad.
Yeah.
Screen Actors Guild. Okay, Screen Actors Guild. Hey, Hollywood is shut down, bro. The actors are officially on strike, and it seems like they're striking for the same reasons that the writers are. So now we have the first Hollywood shutdown in 60 years. Johnny,
Crazy.
what you got, bro?
A complete Hollywood shutdown. So the writers were already on strike, doing their thing on the picket lines and all that. And I thought it was interesting because even though the writers were on strike, certain projects, TVs and film projects were still getting filmed, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I guess at the time it didn't make sense, but well, the Screen Actors Guild and the Writers Guild are separate entities, so it made sense in the moment, right? So now the same type of fight that the writers are fighting, where they don't get their residuals from the streaming services, the streaming services take certain projects off of the streaming services so they don't get paid, or they switch like HBO Max did, just switch to Max. So because they changed the names, writers don't get certain privileges and all that kind of stuff. The actors took note and said, hey, if you doing that to them, y'all can do that to us. And we in solidarity because we not gonna have that happen to us either. So the actors decided to go ahead and go on strike as well, which I mean, more power to them. Turn up. I'm happy for them. They need to be paid for the type of work that they do. So I'm not mad at it at all, but I want the public to know, hey, if this goes on for even 2 or 3 months, all fall programming, we're not gonna have none of it. We're not gonna have none of it.
We'll start back up in the spring, man. Because
Man, look, it's gonna be nasty.
You better get your streaming up. You better find your show you like on one of these.
That's crazy.
But the thing is, man, streaming hit like crack in the 80s, man. It's like we didn't foresee the streaming thing being as such a huge thing, you know what I'm saying? And then there's no way to really monetize like numbers and things like that actors and writers could really lean on. And residual checks are not what they used to be per the writers and the actors. So it's kind of like you have to kind of get your money in certain spaces. And it's quite unfortunate because, these are the things that entertain us.
Yeah, right.
So, Hollywood being shut down, it's like, hey, yo, crime about to go up? What we talking? Like, I mean, crime already up. So, I mean, hey, it is what it is. But it's just like, and it's not like a selfish thing because we're working class people, so we want people inherently to be paid. Ultimately, their worth. So I want the writers to be paid what they are worth. I want the actors to be paid what they are worth. So it's just an unfortunate thing, bro. I don't know what it means. Like, I mean, I know what it means, but it's just like when it comes to the shows and the content that we love to especially discuss on this platform, it's just like, it's gonna be at a standstill for a while.
Yeah, top is gonna get real light, real light in the fall, right? Yeah. So I want to ask you this because, like, I know about like teacher strikes and all that kind of stuff, and usually the school board, they cave into what the teachers are really, what they want, right? So I want to ask you, do you really think the movie studios, these streaming services are like, do you think they're going to win this, or do you think the actors and the writers are going to win? Because I have a theory.
Seeing that the studios have probably more money than banks, I would say the studios win because they have money. They're gonna cave in. Like, I'm not saying that obviously I'm for the people. I'm down here with y'all. I'm with the writers most of the actors. I'm with the writers. Like, yeah. But I don't know, bro. It's just like they find money for all the bullshit that they want to, like all these trash movies and stuff we want to talk about, or shows. They find the money for them. they find it. Like it's money out here for that. They print it. It's like they might as well print more money than Federal Reserve, bro. Like that's how much money Hollywood kicks out for like a bullshit movie, not even a good one.
It's true. It's true. You right. I think I really hate to say it, and I hope it doesn't happen, but I really think the writers and the actors are going to lose this fight. And the reason I say that is because in order for the movie studios and the streaming services to really feel an effect, we the people have to stop streaming. Yeah. Because that's where they're really going to be hurt. The actors and writers right now striking, I understand why they're doing it. And again, I hope they get what they're asking for, but the movie studios and the streaming services are going to continue to make money because we the people are still streaming. That money goes to them still. Subscriptions, right? All that stuff.
Well, it depends because like the box office numbers, I think they're going to start to dwindle. Because like even Mission Impossible only made 80 million this weekend. I'm not saying that like that's a little slight money, right? Mm-hmm. But I think it would have been more if they were able to promote it more.
Oh, of course.
Because as a SAG member, you can't promote, you can't tour, you can't do.
Yeah, you can't do nothing. You can't do podcast. You can't go on a podcast. You can't go to no conventions.
You can't do nothing.
You have to go. You at the crib.
So ultimately, these movie studios want to return on their investment for these films. Mm-hmm. So yeah, like the lead actor might get paid, you know, what he's due, but like, what about residuals from like? I'm pretty sure I want $5 million up front and everything else on the back end. Like, that back end, you gotta make that back end at the box office, my boy. But you can't promote. Like, you can't do any press tours for a film that you probably have worked on for, let's say, 7, 8, 9 months, a year. Like, right. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. We talked about Napoleon at the beginning of the episode, right? I imagine Joaquin Phoenix went through a lot to play that. And then he was getting ready to go play Joker next. Like, come on, bro. Like, so he want to be paid for that. And I get that because I've heard, shout out to Raji P. Henson. She broke down how, you know, actors are paid. Like, she broke down, it was so eloquent. Like, you know, I get this amount of money. Well, hey, look, I'm off the market for 6 months trying to do this film. So I got to be paid for that. I got to pay my team. I got to pay taxes. I got to do this. So that 100 you think I asked for, I don't get 100. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like,
that's real.
I get it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. And then even to take it a step further, like, it's not only the actors and the writers who are affected by this, right? You got to think about all the production staff on a film or on a TV show. I'm talking about even down to the people that run out and go get the food for the actors. Like, all these people are not getting paid now because nobody's working. Like, everybody in the film and TV industry is being affected. So, I mean, again, I hope the writers and the actors they get what they're asking for. They get what they deserve. Because it's not only them that's really being affected. Like, this is a complete Hollywood shutdown, like we said, right? So, like, we're not gonna get anything. No convention appearances, no interviews. Like, well, the Tonight Show and all that shit wasn't happening no way because ain't no writers. So it's like this is crazy.
And we might as well talk about, you know, like some of the MCU projects and comic book properties that have just been kind of canned or shelved or stopped production. Hell, bro, you know how much this hurt me before we get to like anything MCU, DC, you know, EU related. They were shooting House of Dragon 2.
Oh, about that, yes.
Is done. Like, well, they is to stop because they're UK. Mm-hmm. Like, all those actors are foreign, but in solidarity with the US and Hollywood stuff, they say, hey, we just don't stop.
Oh, really? That's crazy.
I know. I looked it up.
I saw that they're not part of like the United States, all that kind of stuff. So they were UK based. So I thought they were still filming. So the actors themselves decided to stop.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Like, it just said production is halted.
Wow.
That was the last thing I checked. I was like, bro, I was hurt.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
I just knew because like before the writers even went on strike, they were already in post, like it was already going. Yeah. Because season 2 of that show is supposed to come out, I think, like spring of next year.
Okay.
Well, at least it was. Now I don't know.
Wow. That's insane. Damn. I mean, speaking of, they were shooting Deadpool 2, which is supposed to come out early next year, right? Well, I think maybe in May. But they had to stop.
That's trash because for one, he stopped when the writers stopped. Like he kept going, the writers was going. I was like, hey, I don't know about this. Now the actors on strike. He's like, all right, I guess we'll sit that that might have been the best thing, bro. Like, I don't want you, listen, bro. Like, listen, you don't want Deadpool 3 to be like trash because he just wanted to force his film. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, bro.
The script was already done. They just had to act it out.
All right. All right.
Real quick, speaking of, did you see?
I prefer off the dome in between these topics. Would you rather a film get pushed up or pushed back?
push back.
right, exactly. I'll push it right back, bro. Like, nah, you push it up, and then that announcement come after the writer strike.
Oh damn, did it? No, I don't think it did. I don't think it did.
Maybe he knew. Maybe he knew they was going. He knew, bro.
That's hilarious. Okay, so before we close out, with the strike that's going on with the writers and the actors, right?
Yeah.
Do you think artists from the music industry follow suit and do the same thing? Because honestly, they are kind of somewhat fighting the same type of fight. When we think about Apple Music, when we think about Spotify, they don't pay the artists really well either when it comes to streams. So do you think at some point music artists follow suit when it comes to striking against these music services?
Well, the thing is, they don't have a union like that. That's why they can't do it. You have to unionize. That's the only way. That's the only way that this thing works.
So you don't think that the artists themselves can, at least like some of the bigger ones, can like band together and say, we're collectively say, you know what, we're gonna just pull all our music from these streaming services, and
and they tried that. It was called Tidal. And you see what happened with that.
Okay, hey, touche.
Because they tried that. We was like, nah, we gonna bring that back over here. Put that on Apple Music, Spotify, baby.
Damn. All right. Well, never mind. Never mind. I don't know. I find it interesting that
some music artists are SAG members as well. Like Beyonce's a SAG member. I don't know how it worked for her because she on tour right now. She toured last night, so she ain't stopped nothing.
Yeah, I don't think. I
don't know how that.
I think because it's music related. I don't think that's affected. I imagine it's not affected.
I imagine too. Because I was like, hey, that's kind of crazy.
But Beyonce, the anomaly though, like it could affect her, but it ain't gonna affect her because it's Beyonce. She can do what the fuck she wants.
We're never here for Beyonce acting anyway, so let's just be honest.
Shit, hey, I agree.
Sing and dance all day. Just don't act.
Fact, she's finally on her North American leg of her tour, so I've been seeing a lot of the clips and all that kind of stuff. So hey, the shit look fire. I ain't gonna lie, shit look fire. But yeah, that's all I got. Listen, again, I hope the actors and the writers, they get what they deserve. We'll see how long it plays out, because I don't see this ending no time soon. I really don't. And at least until if this goes on until the end of the year, until the end of 2023, we're talking about like we probably won't get no new TV or movie content that hasn't already been written or filmed until like the end of next year. Like I feel like that's how long it'll take to get things back up and going, because it's gonna be crazy. We're not getting no fall shows. Ain't no Abbott Elementary. Ain't none of that.
And we'll be here next week to discuss any other MCU or comic book content that's been pushed back, because it's happening.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, because we got to talk about Wolverine too, but we can say that for next week.
Yeah, and we can talk about Blade not happening too. Well, it's not happening. It's happening, but you know how this goes.
Right.
But that man, we have reached the end of the docket. We appreciate you guys. Johnny, what do you have for them?
Yeah, if you're on audio and video, since we're on Zoom, we have reached the end of the podcast. So if you're on YouTube, hit that comment section. Let us know about any of the topics that we discussed today. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Share this with your family and friends, and we'll catch y'all next week. And on
Next
audio, there's no song of the week because we can't play over Zoom. So yeah, we'll be back next week with the song of the week. So anything left for the people, Ralph?
Nah, man. Hey, man, like Johnny said, man, we appreciate you guys. Make sure you share this content with your people. You'll see the links on social media. Just share it with your people, share it with your family, share it with your friends, because OS is for the streets.
And with that, that's episode 195.
195.
And we out.
Cheers.